Well, this is a continuation of work I started in 2012 when I did an artist residency in Fremantle, Western Australia, with some Dutch shipwrecks in the Indian Ocean. That it really woke something up in me about story and the story of objects and how objects kind of through time carry meaning, and sometimes the meaning's wiped away and sometimes we're left to wonder what the story is. I've been working for the last 5 years as a diver for hire in the Columbia River and a lot of the bodies of water around here. So I've really become aware of what happens below the surface of the water and kind of the vernacular of how nature alters things over time. Something falls out of this realm into the water, it can be lost for 100, 200 years. I see the water a little bit as a signifier of consciousness. So when things are lost into the ocean or into the water, they disappear from our world, but they're still there. In this installation, I've used antiques that kind of represent a way of life that we don't live anymore, which is candelabras, fine silver services, all these things like that that I feel like represent a different way of being. It's about displacement, it's about emergence and about re-emergence and memory. So water and fire is they're both very living things, right? Combining the dripping water. It also has like a chaotic aspect. Water is working its way in, entropy and degradation. But the fire also represents kind of life. And then the water is counter to that, but I think they're really interesting together. There are some chaotic aspects to it. Sometimes the water comes down faster in some places and slower. There's a rhythm that it sets up. So it makes it easier to sit and contemplate, I found, for our viewers. The first people through have just sat for a long time and been able to sit and listening, seeing. There's just enough happening. Some people say it represents kind of like this extravagantness, but also tragedy. So when you mix extravagance and tragedy, that's a really interesting thing. With the backdrop of being these artifacts and their story, what is their story? It really makes people wonder, and I think that is an interesting place to be.